Of my house. It's pretty strange. We moved here about 25 years ago. That's a little sunroom. The vines are all dead. I'm a little embarrassed to show you. It's got a walk down brick patio. And then we were told, you're looking at the upstairs here. This is the back of the upstairs. And we were told that the man who was a builder built this house by digging out the bottom stairs and building it, and then he built the upstairs on his own. The back half there's a wraparound deck right there, you can see it, and we live upstairs basically, and downstairs we've got a pool table in the garage and like a 20 by 40 foot storm cellar, which is all in concrete. So I have been watching a lot of meltology and learning about bricks. And then this is the barn. It's a 2-story brick barn. And I was looking after watching Mark on Our Melted Reality about a year, maybe 2 ago, and I thought, I can't find a foundation on this for this barn. So I started digging, and some of you have seen this before, and I've dug down about over a foot because we couldn't see that little concrete slab or whatever it is. We never knew that was here in 25 years, but I've been digging and uncovered that, and I thought, wow, pretty crazy. And since then, here, let's see, I guess the sunlight's pretty good. The further you go down, I've dug way down now, don't forget, and the bricks just get kind of janky looking, kind of jacked up. Like, I'm new at this videoing, so I hope I don't sound too silly. And this right here is a big melted concrete thing. All of that is just a big melted blob, and the blob goes on as far as I've dug. Now, I dug last summer all by myself. People think I'm crazy out here in Oklahoma. And then on this side of the door, we have another layer of bricks deep inside there. It's like a double wall, and no foundation. You're not going to build this high of a barn with the foundation looking like that, with vacated mortar. I can see where the man who built this and sold it to us said he had a construction company, and he said all this stuff, just bricks and all this crazy stuff. Here's one edge of the barn that my son and I have dug down the most to meet a giant blob, just muffed out, whatever. And it only goes down a foot. I know the camera doesn't show, but we dug down even like 3 feet further. And this right here, the concrete just goes on, and we found some crazy stuff, just little artifacts. This right here is the beginning of a wall that goes out 25 feet this way. Dug out the top of it. Most of the time you get further out, the bricks are soft and flaky, and they go from deep red, such as those, to orange. I've got some yellow ones, and just everywhere you go there's bricks and weird metal hardware. And here's just this metal stake coming up. Guess it was a wall. Okay, most of what I find is blobs of this melted mortar and pieces of bricks. which I've collected all of these. Lots of glass, some really pretty decorative, like fine pottery and glass, melted blobs of glass. Here's something I dug out of the wall. Shawnee Bee. Who put that in there? That was just laying buried along this wall here that stretches. I'm going to head it west 25 feet. Over the winter, the high winds and the leaves, and you know how things happen, has reburied it, but I plan to dig it. But straight that way and a little bit over there is our community well. We have like an acreage. Everybody's got like 2.5 acres out here, and straight through those trees is the community well. And we all of us that live in this 2 by 2 mile area get their water, and we pay for it from whoever tends that well. Now, back to the barn. It's pretty high. I'm like 5'9", so I come to maybe the bottom of that window, and it's 2 stories. And the dude built that, but it's never felt safe. My husband kind of shored it up, but it just sags, and it needs to be redone, obviously. But the barn's pretty big. It's the upstairs. The old dude that built it said that the 2nd floor, which is really could be beautiful, he said, "Oh, it's all old wood that I brought in." The barn's pretty long and needs a lot of work. But just wanted to give you an idea of what my curiosity is. And straight out from this door, along here in Oklahoma, everybody's got a storm cellar. So there was some kind of brick structure in the ground right around here, and this elm tree was growing out of it. Pretty tall now. So when our 2 boys were little, my husband and the boys and their cousin that was visiting took sledgehammers and caved it in, because it was just a home for skunks, and we've got a lot of dogs that roam the property, and yeah, it's never a good thing. So raccoons and all kind of critters were living in there, but nothing's ever really grown very well, and our property goes way out. I don't know, you can't really see, but we live on the back, so that we have a long windy driveway that goes to our street, and that's the house. We kind of live upstairs because downstairs, you know, I'm a sunshine person. It's pretty dark with basement windows and some other strange things I'll show you later. There's a fireplace and a kitchen and all the hookups, plumbing and everything down there. We kind of just live upstairs. And we go downstairs for, you got a computer room and a guitar storage and what we call our band room, which is a storm cellar. Because, you know, if you're practicing music with a band in a solid concrete kind of bunker, nobody hears you. And that's one reason we bought this house, because my husband and I always had a classic rock band. And we played around for governors and such. There's to the west. Now I'm going to show you this. I had this built 10-15 years ago for my husband's birthday. Just a little brick barbecue pit, because you guys will get a kick out of this. What we thought was a little square concrete slab, and the man said he put it in here to build he had a business where he built temporary buildings. So I dug this out. It was kind of getting half covered with dirt, and we're always having to sweep it. But I've been digging out the edge. It goes down pretty deep. Concrete, whatever slab. And it's got these things. It's always had these, just bent, as bent as they could be. And they're pretty sturdy. I mean, it moves, but pretty hefty. So on this side, which we didn't know, and you know, my husband and they think I'm crazy, so I don't talk about it much, but I dug way down, and then I dug out this edge. So there it is. I don't know, it's like 6 or 7 feet by about the same. And that's all I've dug so far, but obviously that edge evidently broken off. And then this edge of our barbecue pit platform is broken off. I didn't even know that, because up to about here it's a little lower than the other side, so we, you know, dirt would just cover over it and we never really edged it. We mow with a tractor out here, so. But this deal, I was just digging and digging, so I don't know. It's filled up since I dug it. But we go around here. Wish the light was at a better angle. And then here we have the corner. So I pulled out this tree root. We got a pretty red bud tree just blooming. Well, knowing what I know from watching some of my meltology, #meltology friends, there's this metal rod. And it's got the little twisty, yeah, what you make of that? Part of something. So it goes pretty far down. And here I am digging all by myself, and tree roots forming all around it. But I thought you might get a kick out of that. It's the latest discovery. So we got that going for us. And the things that I dig out of here are just, which looks like pebblecrete, and kind of a finish on the back. Maybe wood, I don't know, wood backing platform made those marks. It's pretty much pebblecrete. And then this came out of this platform. Looks like it had a metal pipe in it. Just all kind of crazy trash. There must be thousands. This is a more recognizable nail, but I just find thousands of these around here. Little thin. These are everywhere. And then you get these little shards of bricks. And what kind of got me started on this was just here's, I think that's mortar. Was for years, there's a little bent glass. For years I'd come out after rains, and we have, you know, little places where the gophers dig. So I would find on top of the dirt, and the way the rain acts, the gophers dig, they spit out the rocks on top. And it was like, oh wow, look at this one. This one's, I find a lot of these, they're black or gray on one side. Pretty crazy. But I would find glass just laying on the dirt, you know. And in the sun after a rain, it really shines. So I just walk around looking for glass. And then I would find little bits of rocks and pick them up because they're not good for the mower blades. Oh, there we have another nail. So the more and more I would think, I always thought, wow, that's crazy that there's so much glass. It just keeps floating up, but it's not like it's in one area. Oh, look at this. You see what I see in there? A little piece of red brick. Little. So I was like, well, we cannot have glass. Like here's like a place where there was a gopher pile. We can't have that, you know. So I would always pick up glass. And I'm gonna walk back over here to near where this so-called storm shelter was. That was here when we moved here. So it was like all over the yard. Yeah, that came out of the yard. I stood it up. I dug it out and set it up right because I thought it was pretty interesting. Just a pipe, piece of a pipe, about 6 inches across. So then I started arranging all the things that I find, like this. There's in our ground. That one's black on the edge, and then reddish black, and then red on this side. So many stampers, y'all. Found that. And here's another one. Just there's so much. I really need to kind of get a modus operandi to do these kind of in some kind of order. But just everywhere, concrete. And here's a glass. Some of the glass, I just start piling up glass, not just in one area, but all over the yard. No, that was a window pane. Some good ones I have inside, and I'll do another video later of some of the more interesting melted glass blobs. Just, yeah, we can't have glass because we have dogs. This had to go undergo some kind of pressure to do that. I don't know if you can see it. I have better examples inside. I'll show you later. It's got like little bubbles in it. It's just hard to focus. It's like it underwent some pressure, some heat. I don't know. We got that. Just so much. So much to show. Sorry I haven't made videos lately, but it's been really cold and windy and snowy and icy, and it's Oklahoma. A little just crazy. So yeah, it started out with me just looking for these all I've dug out. Lots of Pebble Creek. And the story was that the builder that built the house, we bought it from him. The story was that he just went and got a lot of stuff. Took stuff from people that they didn't want anymore so he could have, you know, what he needed to build. And from used materials. So tons of this Miami stone. I have some big ones over there I'll show on a different video. They're long, they say Miami stone, and they all have this old mortar attached. They're different colors, like that one's gray. This one is a little bit pink. Sorry for my non-video skills. Just everywhere. On our property, there are bricks. We got bricks. That should be my name. Jack's, we've got bricks, Jack. Weird old metal. Just flaking apart. I don't know what that was. Filled with dirt now. I dug that up. Tons of stuff. No one's interested but me. They think I'm nuts. But you know, once you have the eyes to see, you're really interested. You really are, dude. Oh, all kind of old metal. That's heavy. That is heavy. Let's see. So yeah, I've just kind of set these up and made a little, with tons of these Tex, high-tex, I think they're called. Hytex. I think Pants on the Ground was showing up in Minnesota. He had high-tex bricks. And this is the edge. Now this is solid in the ground. That's the edge of the so-called storm cellar that they broke up into the ground. It goes quite a ways around the tree. Okay, and here's an example of what I'm finding in the ground. Just I like to call them melto blobs. Obviously brick. A lot of them just flake off, at least strike them just a little bit. But that dude is heavy. That's how big it is and how wide. And then just random metal crap everywhere, which I always called it crap, but now I'm really interested in it. What the heck was that? I find hinges, all kinds of weird things. Oh, there's one more thing I propped up on the tree. There's my barn again. Over here, back around the other side of the tree, I find our favorite. Where is it? Oh. I cannot lift that anymore. You see? Oh, feather and wedge. Yeah. Right, feather and wedge. Let's see, get a better shot. That was just under the ground. We got this thing. Very interesting. It's about 14 inches long. Got little holes in it. And then this thing, put it in the sun. A hinge of some kind. And then, blanket. And the rest of the blanket, which I'm trying to dig it out of the ground, and I need to just cut it out. While I was digging, the dogs help me. When I'm digging, they're so interested. I find this real decorroded Napoleon Dynamite, decorroded, handmade, used to be blanket, crocheted blanket. And it's just like right around here is where I found what seemed to be a pelvic, let's just say, hinge of some biological creature. And instead of it being the state of matter that it is in, like, say, our bodies, it is now a rock. It is turned to rock. Let's just say petrified. So many interesting adventures now that the weather is better. And I will show you my artifacts, and the other side of the barn is pretty interesting too. Just some surprises that we never knew. But now all the bricks, and why there's so much old, broken construction materials, not to mention all the forms of it. There's another place where I was digging. There's a way over there. It's a pretty big one of those kind of bricks. And just stuff. But this, really pretty. It's granite. And I'll hose it down so y'all can see it wet. But it's really pretty. Tons of granite everywhere. A nice reddish, pinkish, and gray. Oh yeah, salt and pepper granite, right? Seems like someone did a video on that, and there's just a big piece of pebblecrete. It's pretty big. And they've just always been here, and we would just be digging and run across some. Here's some old, nice old relics. Just came out of the ground. It's like bent in half, but it seems to have threads on it. Who knows, right? I'll get better at this video thing, I promise. Just here's some really light orange flaky brick. Here's one of the broken stampers, but I've got lots better examples than that. CO High-Tech Brick Company. I don't know what it. I've got a better one over there. Just everywhere. Different states of brickomorphosis and mortar-morphic matter. This is an interesting old nail. It's really flaky. Straight out of the ground. I live just west of Oklahoma City. Here's a good Meltolithic mortar with a something was in there. Pipe. Pretty bubbly and drippy. But I'll get back to y'all because it's just a mystery. Many mysteries now. I feel like Indiana Jones every time I pull something weird out of the ground. I just have piles. Every little rock. I've always been interested in rocks. And I was going to major at LSU. I grew up in Baton Rouge. I was born in Schenectady. Moved to Baton Rouge. And grew up there. And then went to LSU. And then came to go to school in Bethany, Oklahoma. There's a brick. It's just getting too dark. The sun's at a late angle. But that brick, I tried to dig it out. It would not move. It's part of this concrete brickorific melto mess. But the guy, he very cleverly lined the barn everywhere with bricks and granite and melto blobs of pebblecrete. Very cleverly, and we never thought to dig. I dug that out of the ground. Not sure what that is. It's about 3 feet long. So I got a collection. Now this I saved it. We had an old park bench that croaked because my kids were using it to jump over with their skateboard. All right, more to come. More to come. There's the side of the barn as we get lower. This is the south side. We got this funky looking brick sticking out. A lot of the bricks are shiny and glossy. Dark, shiny and glossy. And then we've always had trouble with running over this with the mower. It's about a 3-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, very sturdy metal post. So we can't get too close to this with our mower. But, you know, I've hit it a few times. I love mowing. And then just everywhere, just remnants of bricks. We ran electricity to it when we moved in, and had thoughts of, oh, that's cracked up there. I don't know if you can see it. Pretty good crack in the bricks. Oops, I'm messing up the camera. Okay, I guess I'll stop this now. I'm Jackie, and I love you guys. And I'll talk to you later.